There we go. Hello everyone, my name is Karina Gantus. I am an author, also the sponsor of Brain to Book Cyber Convention. You are now watching the Sons of Anarchy special. I have the wonderful Amy Cecil here as my guest and as a fellow author and a huge fan of Sons of Anarchy, which this panel is about. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this program in particular is because I found that after it finished, the season finished, and while it was on, because it was 6 seasons, we're talking 6 years, so it went for, a long time, there were so many fans and so many, especially ladies, decided that they wanted to write about outlaw motorcycle clubs. And then all of a sudden, there's this influxation of all these authors writing MC novels. Most of them there's erotica, there's romance, mine are more thriller, even though I think all of them have to have some sort of form of romance because, the women want that, don't they? So, but it's because of that show that when you go onto Amazon, you see all of those books, MC fiction, because of Sons of Anarchy. I think most people will agree with it. There were some that wrote already before Sons of Anarchy came out. I'm one of them. I have 4 books in the Outlaw series, and they were all written before Sons of Anarchy came out on TV. Amy actually was one of those authors that just totally fell in love with the program, fell in love with the characters, fell in love with the plot, and she was like, right, I'm going to write my own book, and she did, and it's been a huge success, and I'm actually currently reading it myself. So Amy became an author because of Sons of Anarchy. I was already an author. I didn't write another book after Sons of Anarchy, but I could see Sons of Anarchy inside my book, even though it's like people were saying, it's like something out of Sons of Anarchy, and I'm like, yes, but I wrote it before Sons of Anarchy. But because you need to be as real as you can when you're writing, especially something like this. There are diehard fans out there of the show, and there are real MC members that read our books. So we have to tread a thin line, really, with what we write about and how we present it. You have to be as realistic as you can. Of course, it's entertainment, just like the show. The show is OTT, but that's because it was a show and it was for entertaining value. Whereas with a novel, we're entertaining the reader. So we can go OTT as well. But if you do too much, or if you have a character that's too perfect, then how can people relate to it, and how can people understand it? So I'm going to shut up now, and we're going to talk really about our love of the show, which is what this panel is about. So, Amy, how many seasons were you in when you decided or had the idea for ICE?
Well, actually, I did not start watching Sons of Anarchy when it first started to air. I was talking to a friend about my love of motorcycles and that I wanted a Harley, and I was actually getting ready to take a class to learn to ride a Harley. Like, have you watched Sons of Anarchy? Yes. She's like, have you watched Sons of Anarchy? And I'm like, no, what's that? Like, I had no idea. So I started watching it on DVDs, and I watched all 6 seasons. And when I finished the 6th season, that's when the 7th season came on the air. So I had already written 2 books prior to watching that. They were historical romances, so they were not even related, Jane Austen fanfic. And so I guess watching those 6 seasons commercial free back to back, I became hooked, and I just kept thinking there's a story here. And so I couldn't tell you exactly where because I watched the first 6 all together.
Yeah, I was the same as you. I think I'd heard of it, but I didn't know what the show was about. And it was someone who, because I'm a biker myself, not just because of the books I write, but I'm an actual biker. They said, "Have you seen Sons of Anarchy?" And I'm like, "No, what is it?" And of course, after the first episode, that was it. It was straight all the way through. What do you call that? Binge watching. That's it. I had to binge watch. And then when I caught up with what they were playing, thankfully, they started it here in Greece, because I watched it when I was over visiting my family in the UK, which is where I'm from. But I live in Greece, and I was so lucky that they actually played it one season behind in Greece, so it's easy to catch up for me. If they hadn't have done that, I suppose I would have just streamed online. Like you do, like you have to, especially like you say, you don't want the commercials. You don't want to miss, or you have missed because you had a wedding or something and you weren't happy about it, but you missed that episode. So, of course, you're going to go online and stream, which is what I do now for many of my programs. So, who is your favourite character on the show?
Oh, my gosh. That is a tough call. I mean, I think every woman falls in love with Jax because Jax is, well, he's Jax. But I have to say, Tig and Happy make me laugh like there is no tomorrow. Like there's something about the two of them that, and especially Tig, like how his character has evolved.
He's such a psycho, Tig. Oh my gosh!
So he became so human towards the end, and I really like that about him. He started out as this uncaring, unfeeling, and then all that happened with his daughter and Pope and all of that, and Jax saving his life, and he just kind of humanized, and he was the character that evolved me through the entire show the most. And I
think Happy was the one that made you piss your pants. Oh my God!
Happy was different. I was talking about Tig.
Yeah.
Tig, but
even in I feel the first 2, maybe 3 seasons were more humorous and more gentle, and then it got so dark. You never saw anyone smiling on any single episode. No. Everything, even Happy, who was the comedian, the clown of the group, he had such strong storylines that the character just turned around into, you didn't expect that that was it with Kurt Sutter. You never knew. You thought you knew what was coming up, and you never knew what he was going to do. And then he throws the biggest effing curveball you could imagine. And that was one episode. And then you've got the next episode coming, and what's going to happen next? Yes. Kurt Sutter, he is a mad genius. Not only, I mean, but I'm hoping everyone who's watching this video actually knows what Sons of Anarchy is, and if you don't, shame on you. Kurt Sutter is a director, but he also acted, and he put himself through so much shit in that program, in that show. The one who, oh God, how can you explain the storylines that he gave himself? Oh my God.
He was the most abused. I mean, he did so much for the club. He got caught into so many situations.
Trying to help the club.
Beaten and lost his, I mean, just, he had it the worst, you're right.
Yeah, and for a director to give himself a role like that, that's really unusual. Normally they'd have the main character, or they'd have someone in the background just so they can be on the show. He put himself in the forefront of the whole of the plot from every single season had something to do with him doing something for the club and then getting shit on because of what he's done.
Yeah,
and
yes,
yet
exactly.
the club never saw what was going on behind. They never, even though they kept asking him, "Oh, can you do this? Can you do that?" They never once turned around and said, "Thank you," did they?
No, you're right. They didn't.
They didn't. The ending of Mr. Sutter, I really can't for the life of me remember the character's name that he played.
Hold on, I just Otto.
Otto, that's it. Yeah, I was just about to go to to have a look. Otto, yeah. His end scene, which was so dramatic, and we don't care about spoilers because it's been a long time since the show finishes. So we're going to talk about what really happened. So basically, he grabs hold of a nurse, gets a crucifix that belonged to his wife, who was killed because of club business, and basically stabs her in the neck. Now that we've watched it all, now that we know the plot and we know why everything happened for a reason, and it did, Kurt was very, very clever that every single storyline in the whole of the program had a reason for it. And I now think that Otto did that deliberately to get Jax's wife, the nurse, into trouble.
Absolutely.
Because he'd realised that everything that's happened to him was for the club, and they never said thank you, and he never got anything back in return. And then he just went, well, F this. And the only thing he could do was...
And at the time, he thought, they had lied to him about Luann's death.
Yes.
When, so they had put him in a position where originally they had told him that the other producer had killed Luann, and then he finds out that Bobby was sleeping with Luann. Then he thinks maybe Bobby might have done it, and then they tell him that they got the guy who did it, but he's still alive. So they really screwed him around.
They really did. And it was payback because of Jax's wife being a nurse, a doctor.
She was a doctor, actually.
And she actually gave him the crucifix because he asked for it. And this was, as far as I'm concerned, this was all planned by Otto to actually ask for it for this reason. And again, after he does that and he gets shot and he's dead, the storyline carries on from there because the woman that he killed was the sister of the psycho... Was he FBI or what was he?
He was retired. He was retired. He was some retired Fed.
Yeah. Absolute psycho.
I can't remember what his exact, but he was retired.
Yeah. I think he was some sort of, not warden. What's the word I'm looking for? In America, you have them Mounties, not Mounties.
No, he wasn't a bounty hunter. He wasn't.
No. I'd have to look that one up. But yeah, so it carried on. Even though Otto had been killed, it carried on from what he'd done. It just carried on with the storyline.
Well,
so there was
Otto killed him. Otto lived, and he had Otto raped every morning for weeks after that, knowing that Otto had killed his sister.
Yeah.
I think it was Clay. Once Clay got into jail, Clay had gotten a weapon to Otto, and Otto killed the sister's brother, and then he was shot for killing him.
Yes, you are right.
After that,
you are right. I do really need to watch them again. I need to do some binge watching again because there was so much going on in these seasons.
I have a question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
Who do you think the homeless woman was throughout the whole series? Remember how she would pop up?
Yes. He never told people that, did he? He never told people that. I thought it was Jax's sister. And then it made me think that maybe she wasn't a ghost, but maybe she was always there when people needed her, or something bad was going to happen, like an omen. Or, of course, she was
I kind of have to agree with that.
Yeah?
Because it seemed like every time she showed up, something bad did happen right after that or right before that.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you know, right before he killed himself, you know, when she basically looked at him and said, you know, it's time, I think that
how would she know if she wasn't?
Like
exactly. Because every time, when you say bad things happen, bloody hell, every time she showed up, shit happened and someone died.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what she was. I totally agree with you on that, Amy. She was the Reaper. But again, that was so clever of Kirk to put her in like that, and not to. He would not tell anybody.
Never,
even now.
After the end,
he kept everyone guessing of who she was and why she was there, and everyone. And sometimes he said no, and sometimes he said, "Well, I'm not going to say anything." But even if someone got the correct answer, which we think she's a Reaper, and I know other people thought that, he would have said no, because he just didn't want to give up the truth. And that's a fantastic thing to leave, because it's always, like you've just asked me now about it. If he'd told people what it was, you wouldn't have asked me that question. So it still gets people talking about the show even years after. So, season 1. Here is the DVD of season 1. This is where we first meet Jax Teller. Now, I have been a fan of Charlie Hunnam since Queer as Folks. So when I found out he was playing Jax, I was like, oh, all right, okay, then I'm into bikers anyway, but he was playing a biker. Oh my God. And the shower scenes. Oh, every woman is waiting for the shower scenes. What a man. And he's such a lovely guy as well in real life. But, you know, that changed him. That show really changed him. He went out, halfway through the show, he went out and he got himself a Harley. And he started living as a biker, not an outlaw biker, of course. But you know, wearing the jean jackets, having a Harley. And he wasn't like that before the show. And I think something like that does change you. I mean, how many years was that? How many years was he in that show for?
7.
And you see, he was the main character. Everything,
every episode
was about him. All the storylines were slowly, but coming round in a full circle from how the beginning started.
Exactly.
And the beginning started of him finding a manuscript that his dad had wrote that was killed in a bike accident, and understanding that it wasn't an accident, and then trying to find out what exactly happened, and then everyone trying to bury the truth. And that just, I mean, Clay, there's always a villain, okay? There is always a villain in every show, every program. Clay was the villain, but who ended up being the villain even more than Clay was Gemma. She was a psycho. But people loved her. They loved her because she was mummy. She was the queen bee, but she was also mummy. Everyone came to her, and everyone listened to what she said. Even the husband, even when he was smacking her around and everything, he was still under her thumb, so to speak.
Yes.
Who knew the ending was going to happen like it was? I didn't think she had it in her to do something like that. Oh, she's always been a crafty, vindictive troublemaker, even involved with murder. But for her to actually get her hands dirty like that really surprised me. And I think there were some real shocking plot lines with Otto, with, what's his name, Ryan? Damn. What's his name? The one who was killed off at the prison. Come on, you must remember.
That's Otto was killed in prison.
No, they got him in front of Jax and all the boys, and they smashed his head with a baseball bat.
Oh,
Opie. Talk about a tragic storyline. From the beginning, what the club did to him and swept it under the table. What I didn't understand was that even when he found out the truth about who killed his wife, he didn't do anything about it.
No, he didn't.
It's okay, the club is everything. Respect the club, but surely there is a line somewhere that you draw, and surely killing your own wife, killing the wife off, should have been that line. But
he reacted worse to Clay killing his dad.
Yeah.
He almost killed Clay over that than his own wife.
Exactly. And we wanted that to happen. We wanted Opie to wake up and get angry for something, which he did. And of course, Clay got his. After a long while, everyone was saying, kill off Clay. But Sutter kept him going, didn't he? Right till when he was ready. Not when anybody else was ready, when he was ready. He knew exactly how this mother was going down. So, getting off of the actual program now, do you think there's a similarity between your book, Ice, and anything that had happened in Sons of Anarchy? Which, of course, is not copyright, you're allowed to do. But was there some sort of plot that made you go, oh my God, I need to write something similar like that in my book?
No, actually there isn't. My new book that's coming out, which is the sequel to Ice, has a meeting of clubs where they're working things out. Kind of got that idea from Sons. When they started, working with the Mayans and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this book, no, I don't have any that I can think of, any correlation to Sons as far as scenes or instances or plot lines.
Because, and you're writing about it, and unless you actually live that lifestyle, you have to do your research, you have to read the books, you have to watch the films and watch the programs, because you can't talk about what goes on inside an outlaw motorcycle club when you don't know. So It's something like Sons that really give you an insight. Again, people, it's entertaining, it's over the top, we know. That give you an insight of what goes on in these outlaw motorcycle clubs. That makes you able to write the book and stay in as real as you can. You always say, especially with your first book, write about what you know. You can't write about a brain surgeon and you're not a brain surgeon, or go and do like 3 weeks of research for it, It's always good to write about what you know, because you have the passion then, you've been there, you have the experience, and you can get all of that passion and knowledge out into your work. And do you think that's what you did with Ice?
Well, I was very lucky. There is a local club in my area that I actually met with and spoke with, got some information from them. And a dear friend of mine, her father-in-law in his younger days, was in with a club. And so I got a lot of research from them. And I've read a couple books by Sonny Barger, who was also in Sons. And and other biker books. There was one about a guy that infiltrated the FBI guy. I can't remember the name of it, but so I did a lot of reading.
Under and Alone. Under and Alone.
I think that was it.
That helped me with one of my books. I think Road Rage. Is it Road Rage or Huntress? one of those books helped me because of that plot and the storyline in Under and Alone. The idea of someone being able to get away with it, of infiltrating and being one of the gang, one of the club, a member of the club, and actually being patched in and being thought of as one of the boys, and still being able to keep his still being able to play a double life and not get so involved, because in my book, the character, no matter what they have done to her, no matter what they've done in the past, and even though she is recording stuff, she's taping stuff, she's photocopying evidence, she's collecting all of this all throughout the book. She loves these guys. They love her. They're like her brothers. And she's really fallen in love with the VP of the club. Even though his dad killed off her uncle, which is why she's trying to get them. That, and they've given a death threat to her parents. But she found it really difficult because she got so comfortable in that setting, in that environment, and the respect that she was given and the friendship, how the bonds between them, that she sort of forgot about the revenge part and why she was there in the first place. And then some incident happened which made us go back, whoa, I need to stop this now. These guys have got to pay for what they've done. Right. Exactly. So Under Alone, that just fascinated me, how he could still be, it wasn't acting and it wasn't doing his job. He really was a member of that motorcycle club.
Yes.
And
developed relationships with other members in the club.
I mean, he did stuff that he wasn't allowed to take drugs, and if he did take drugs, he had to go straight to the emergency and get a shot or whatever that counteracted the drugs, because of him being a federal agent. So somehow he got away with not doing it, even though they were all around and they were trying to push him and they were all watching him. He got around with not doing that. And I thought, well, that's, if that happens in real life, why can't it happen in a book,
Yeah.
And then he had to separate because he got so close, and he was doing stuff for the club, even illegal stuff for the club. But he got so close that he had to step away and think, these aren't my brothers. This isn't my family. Yeah. And I thought that was fascinating. I love that. And that's what I did with Huntress. Yes. Huntress book 2 of the Outlaws is, the idea came from Under and Alone. There you go. Let's have a look at your little jacks in the background. Let's bring them to the camera so people can see your jack memorabilia. I love this bobblehead. That's so cool. And his Kurt is so...
There's a funny story about the bobblehead. For Christmas one year, I wanted this. All I asked for was a Jax Teller action figure.
Oh.
And my husband buys me this. I'm like, honey, he's a tough biker, and he's a bobblehead. I'm so good.
I love it. He actually
thrown on me. So
he looks more like Jax than the actual doll, I think.
In the face, he does.
He does, doesn't he?
But he has grown on me, so I know he was given to me with love.
No, he's cool. So, what other merch did you get from the show? What are the merchandise?
Well, I have a blanket in the back that was a gift from a friend.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see it, but
yeah,
on it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I have this book that I got, which is awesome. If you're interested in the show, you should pick it up because it has like quotes from different characters in the show, and some of them are like some of the funniest quotes, and some of them are the most.
Did you get it signed?
Quotes. No, I didn't. I had an opportunity to go to they were going to be down in near my house, about 30 minutes away. They were going to have some characters there, but some of the actors that played in the show. but I didn't get a chance. I think I had
You're so close.
I was so close, yeah. And Charlie Hunnam wasn't here. Now, if Charlie Hunnam would have been here,
You would have, no matter what. Yeah, of course you do. So,
no, it was. I think it was funny because they were talking about Galen, the guy that plays Galen O'Shea was here, and they were talking about when I went to take my Harley class at the Harley dealership there, they were telling us about them coming. And he's like, can you believe this guy doesn't even know how to ride a motorcycle? And I'm like, he never rode a motorcycle in the show. He was IRA.
Exactly. Not every character in Sons of Anarchy had a motorcycle. As you saying that, how did you feel? How did you feel when Kurt announced that? What's her name? Tinsdale. No, was it Glee? Yeah, Glee. The girl from Glee was going to be in the show, and the other girl from High School Musical.
I don't know who they are. So I'm
the blonde one. She was ended up being a waitress. Was it Tinsdale? Someone Tinsdale. Anyway, you know, he had so many cameos for these people. When he announced that she was going to play a cameo role, the fans went ape. Because,
really?
Yeah, because she's a Disney High School Musical actress. What the hell is she doing in Sons of Anarchy? But she did a really good job, and her character was in the show as a character should have been for a show like that. So it wasn't wasn't playing herself or anything like that. But when he announced it, it was like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? You know. We are going to take a quick short break. I'm going to share a screen, and the people are going to watch a video or a reading, and then we'll be back to discuss a fantastic prize draw that you can all enter. Let's go over here, and hopefully neither of you are seeing me anymore. Let's have a little reading from Amy's book, Ice. There we go. And guess who's reading it?